Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing this morning? Me, I am doing good. I'm a little bit on the groggy side this morning, but I'm getting there this morning. Um, I know for a lot of y'all, when it comes to these Country Wayne skits, y'all are Team Amber, and everybody has a person that they can relate to that they support. But here's kind of like where the problem is. You can't justify negativity. You can't keep jumping down Shayla's throat or Brittany's throat and not jump down Amber's either. At the end of the day, when it comes to karma, it don't care why you did what you did. You did what you did, and there's consequences, repercussions, karma. The problem is when everybody else start doing it, then it just trickles down. It started with Amber, now it's trickling down to Anthony, now it's trickling down to Shayla, now it's trickling down to Brittany. So, like I said, nowadays you got to be mindful of the fact that when it comes to these situations, that you gonna have people that is gonna be the one that's gonna trickle down the negativity. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. Because y'all forget, Amber went after Mike when Mike was with Rolanda. So everybody that Amber hangs around with, that everybody that Amber associate with, have all done the same thing she's done. Because if you look at what she did to Rolanda, is no different than what what's the name did to her. Does it make it right? No, it don't make it right at all. But in the end, you are who you associate with. So if Amber did what she did to Rolanda when it came to Mike, why am I not surprised about what Brittany did when it came to Kelvin? That ain't nothing but, again, her karma. When it came down to what Shayla did, it's her karma. So all it is this is the karma that Amber has done when it came after doing the same behavior. They've all done the same behavior. So Amber did it, Shayla's done it, and now Brittany's done it. This ain't nothing but Amber's karma. And then the fact of when it comes to Amanda, when it comes to her mama, karma. Karma. You are what you attract and who you attract to you. So in the end, like I said, I get it. But honey, when you are doing dirt and everybody around you is just like you, what makes you think they won't do it to you? Because they will. Honey, ain't no loyalty in thieves. Let me break that down. You got a bunch of people. All of them steal. All of them rob. All of them do negativity. All of them running around here stealing other people's men, whatever you want to call it. In the end, they gonna end up going after each other's men eventually anyway. Does it make it right? No, it don't. But the reality of it is, a lot of people on this James Scott Farron, I want what I want, and I don't care who I have to hurt. I don't care who I have to manipulate. I don't care what I have to do to get what I want from you. Does it make it right? No, it don't. It don't make it right at all. But the reality of it is, this is what go on. And like I said, in these particular situations, it don't surprise me when I see people out here doing this nonsense. It don't surprise me at all, because it don't. In the end, when it comes to what people want, they don't care about who they hurt. They don't care that it's their best friend's husband. They don't care. They want what they want, and they're determined to get it. Does it make it right? No, it don't. So I just need people to understand that. I get it. I understand. But in the end, these are the females that Amber chose to hang around with. Ernestine cheated on her husband. Again. And Brittany cheated on Dalen. Again, does it make it right? No. It don't. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful who you associate with. Because if you hang around people that's just like you, that's running around here doing the same thing, then guess what? There's no loyalty in thieves. And Amber got a bunch of people around her that are thieves. Well, guess what? She ain't no better because she went after Rolanda when it came. I went after Mike when it came to Rolanda. So this ain't nothing but, unfortunately, her karma. That's just it on that. Like I said, Amber has a chance to be with good men, but like I said, she self-sabotages herself. And then these females think that they have the opportunity because she talks too much, she tells too much. If she would have never said anything about that, whoever it was that Kelvin was dealing with, and had a conversation with him, none of this with Brittany would have ever happened. There wouldn't have been no Brittany. If she'd have never told Shayla that she slept with Wayne, none of this would have happened. So in the end, like I said, this ain't nothing but Amber's karma because she talks too much. And her diary of the mouth is what got her in this mess in the first place. Does it make it right? No, it don't. What Shayla and them did was wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. But in the end, I'm not surprised by any of this at all. I'm not the least bit surprised about what the world is going on. So I'm not shocked about Shayla stealing Anthony from her. I'm not surprised about the fact of what Brittany did. None of that shocks me because it don't. It don't shock me at all what any of them have done. So why in the world would I sit up here and be shocked by the fact of what any of these females have done? I'm not shocked. Not at all. I have no reason to be shocked. So none of this shocks me about the fact of these females and what they're doing to her. Because in the end, when you're someone that's a good person, like I said, when you elevate, you're going to meet new people. But you can't base people on attraction. You have to base people on getting to know them and having a conversation with them and seeing what they bring to the table. Because if you look at Amber planning this thing, look at the way Brittany came when she walked in the door. Amber didn't care about the fact that Brittany didn't have time to change her clothes. All she cared about is she's the center of attention. And like I said, when it comes down to that, it's just like being a lamb and you got a bunch of wolves centering around you, ready to slaughter you because of the fact that you're sitting in the light. So it's no different than a lamb and a bunch of wolves. So even though you're the lamb and you're the good person, that don't mean that people will not take advantage of you. That don't mean that people won't try to dim your light, the jealousy, the envy. So in the end, like I said, I understand. I get it. But at the same time, I'm not shocked nor surprised by the fact of, any of this. But like I said, birds of a feather flock together. Amber is now getting all the karma of what she did to Rolanda and what she has done to others. Look at Amanda. Amanda is still, no matter what, messing with that man, knowing that man was married to your mama. You don't care. So in the end, like I said, people, when it comes to what they want, they will go against everything that is right to do something wrong. And they don't care about it being your friend. They don't care. Does it make it right? No, it don't. But again, when it comes to what people want, they don't care about right or wrong. All they care about, I want what I want, and I don't care who's standing in my way. I don't care if there's another woman that's standing in my way. If I want your husband, I'm going to have your husband. And that's just it on that. So y'all can sit up here and miss me on what y'all talking about. In the end, like I said, this all falls on Amber. Amber is the reason why all of this is happening. It is not Brittany. It is not Shayla. It is not Amanda. It is her. And until she changes, then everything else will change. But Amber ain't got no friends. She don't. And that is something she need to realize. That she is all she got. And that's it on that.